But so what did they actually kick you out for?
So I didn't get kicked out. Let's clarify this.
They demoted you.
Not. Yes. So right towards the end, it was like 6 months out, like they wanted to make an example of me. So basically, you know, being as big as I was in the military, I was getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And I was selling waist trainers, and I had my own fitness, like AlysiaFitness.com, had my own business. I was a little hustler since day one.
And there's nothing comparable.
Get out.
There's nothing comparable that other dudes were doing in the military. Like our dudes selling supplements and shit. Like
nothing. Like
you were like the only one doing this kind of shit.
So like, and people were eyeing. It was on social media, so everyone's like, "Wow, there's this girl that's doing things outside of the box." And and I would make more money. And I'd drop one sale. I'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna do a booty sale," and I don't know why I keep burping.
It's hot. They probably like it.
Burps today.
People love burps.
People do that. They do that.
Oh, ASMR. My girl literally lays in bed and watches that shit.
Is that you okay?
Yeah. It's fucking weird. I mean, that's not like the kind of mic that they use, but it's close enough.
Okay.
They use like crazy sensitive mics so that it's like even more intense.
I love how we keep going off subject.
But also, this room is big and echoey, so I don't think it would be good for ASMR. They need to do it in like a little thing that like holds all the sound in.
He's excited. You should do this for a podcast where it's straight up just.
I mean,
guys talk like in.
If I knew that I could just sit in front of a fucking microphone and like whisper about some shit and like have like a pop in second channel, I guess I would probably spare like 20 minutes a week to do it. But it seems fucking like the dumbest thing on earth to base your channel around.
People love it. I always see it on TikTok. I'm like, but where were we going with this question? I forgot.
Them demoting you.
Yeah. So there's more than just that. So I basically, but I didn't know this. So I'm going to work doing my thing. I'm putting in like 5 hours at the gym and like posting and just like, but focusing on me, never on anybody else. Everyone loved me at work because I was always like a bubbly personality. And I think I'm pretty cool and likable. And yeah, I was the morale person. Like people missed me when I was gone.
So you were generally well liked. It wasn't like some shit where you were pissing everybody off, so they had to find a reason to fuck with you.
No. So this is all like higher up in the chain. Like this is just what I've like come to. This isn't like, 100% fact, but it was somebody up the chain. It had to have been to make it happen as big as it did. So there's people who even get DUIs in the military that don't get Article 15s. So to get like an Article 15, it's basically the military just is done with you. Like they're done with you. And it was crazy because it happened 6 months out, like 6 months before I was getting out. And they got mad because I did a side-by-side. So I did a waist trainer and I was selling it. And I had one where I was in a uniform and next to it in the waist trainer. Well, technically that's like saying, like if somebody looked at that, they'd be like, oh, that was the military promoting that. Like who's that stupid enough, But think about it. If I posted the waist trainer and then the picture in the uniform, that was fine. Like, obviously, I'm in the military. That's fine. But they just couldn't be next to each other in one post.
Right.
So, basically, and then once that happens, like, you can't do anything wrong. You can't even come to late work. You can't, like, your stripe is taken away. And once the military has their eye on you, it's very easy to fuck up.
So you chose to leave? If they want to
fuck you up, they're going to fuck you up.
You chose to leave or something else happened after that?
Well, I was supposed to leave, normally with my rank,
Right.
And then I came to work, and then the attorney that even was in the Air Force, she asked me, she's like, did you sleep with somebody higher, like, ranking? Because you're not supposed to if you're enlisted. I was like, no, I literally stay in my lane, do my thing. And she couldn't believe it. She looked at my record. I have my degree. I have like 6 troops underneath me. I'm in charge of the doctor's schedule. Like, it's, what I've accomplished. She's like, there's nothing on your record, like nothing bad. Like, how is this happening? So basically, and at the time I had no support. I was in England by myself. Like that was when I hit like my first really like rock bottom. Like my pride got hit really hard with that.
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
So what'd you do from there?
From there on, my anxiety, like I always dealt with anxiety, but I never had it so bad. Like I had panic attacks every day. Like they took me away from patient care, so I couldn't see I couldn't do what I loved. They put me behind a desk. Like I loved interacting with people. You put me behind a desk, of course I'm be, miserable. So I was miserable. I showed up late to work. Just more shit happened because I never had anything like that happen. You know what I mean? And I didn't have the support that I needed at that time. So it was really hard. Like it was hard walking around without, and my troops would be like calling me airman. while I was like while I was in charge of them. You know what I mean? It does something to your pride.
Right.
So, but which is funny because I became famous from the military.
Right.
So it's kind of like you can't stop what's gonna happen, guys.
Yeah, because I mean, it becomes a big part of your identity. So then when you kind of have to say goodbye to it, you got to sort of rebuild and like start to see yourself in a different light.
Yeah, definitely. I had a hard transition.
Right. So how'd you sort of get through that?
So I came to LA and I had a very abusive relationship, and I went from that girl that did bodybuilding, that went to expos, that was like super excited about life, to like just I lost everything, like my identity, who I was. I couldn't even look at somebody in the eyes. Like, I mean, it was really bad, you know. And then I started doing drugs and I was drinking, and you know, just to get through it. And so it was really tough, and it took a while. Like, I just recently got out of this whole mess.
Oh, really? So you were in another bad relationship, or are you still talking about that?
Yeah, and then after that, it was just, you know, another bad relationship because I wasn't healed.
Right.
And I was Miss Tough. I can do it. I'm fine. You know, I don't need a man. Like, that's been my identity. Like, I don't need a man.
Right.
You know?
But then you keep ending up in bad relationships with men.
Right, and it's like, why? You know, if you don't need it, why are you doing it? So
Right.
it took me, like, a little bit to get out of it, but I'm so grateful.
You're saying you're sober now?
So not completely Cali sober.
So you smoke weed?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm working on that. That's something I'm working on.
Right.
Obviously, I don't want to be numb to anything. I want to have the full experience, you know, of things.
Right.
But yeah, definitely drinking. That was my baby.
You got a little too into it.
Yeah.
Right.
That was definitely like I was just, you know, covering up my pain, and eventually that caught up to me.
But you're telling me that you're not going to get in another relationship with a dude until he seems like he is.
Oh,
you're
I'm
going to be
taking
able
him
to
to
have
my therapist, because you know, with me, I attract a lot of guys, you know, and I attract, like, unfortunately, a lot of the bad ones, you know, because of my, you know, my energy. I don't know, my boss, like, they want to tame me or something.
Right.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.